They love their independence. And you know we are one of the largest producer of whatever you are wearing, clothes, in the whole world. After China, we are the second out of, say, 200 countries. So this is one. Secondly, as the Vice President said, it's a green, beautiful country. So on both the issues, I have got 2 booklets, so are interested, they can collect it from there. I will not take much time because it is on tourism, published in Russian, and in English and Russian both is the main industries of Bangladesh. So you can read and learn. Today's topic is actually for me, given by your president, who is absent here. My respect to him, effective diplomatic negotiation. Since we are at the American corner, thanks to Roshan and here today for the Toastmaster program, but you all study, I am sure, a lot of books written in English by American authors, and especially you go through journals of Harvard and other universities to learn many things. So the theoretical part I will skip, because when you go online, you will find it. I will only share, because of short time, 3 of my own experiences as a career diplomat. This is my 34th year and 10th year as ambassador in 15 countries, through 3 capitals. Wow. And more as a career diplomat in 34 years. So I had some successes as well. The one which you will check online, you will find that we had a big negotiation, diplomatic negotiation, for a few years, and we had to go to the International Tribunal for Law of the Sea, called ITLOS in Hamburg, to come to an understanding, come to a final decision given by the judges of the tribunal, to share the rights to access the Bay of Bengal, our sea, which is part of the Indian Ocean, and also share its resources and the access to movement. So all these things we had to do. And for that, since I was ambassador to Germany before coming to Central Asia, we had to work under the leadership of our foreign minister, and we had to go to that tribunal and do a lot of negotiation. What I'm going to say, for negotiation, first of all, you have to be very well informed. You have to have a good team with diverse opinion and experience. Not everybody thinking in the same line, thinking from different direction. You have to know the weaknesses through your research of your opponent. You have to know your own strong points. And you have to know how to deal politely but firmly to get what you want. I'm just telling in a nutshell, you will read more. I'm not giving you a written speech. And through that, in 2012, everybody knows in the world, we got what we wanted from Myanmar, who started the thing. And then it was like a very good situation that they accepted the judgment given by the ITLOS. We call it ITLOS, International Tribunal for Law of the Sea. Second thing, I'm just showing you about the, I'm telling you about the, how you have to be firm. When I was posted in New York, I was dealing under the second committee with Iran for something which is related to distribution of whatever you have in forests between mid-level developed countries and least developed countries. Bangladesh at that time was the leader, chairman of the least developed countries. So we had 40 plus countries in our support, and we were dealing with Iran. They wanted that the benefits of having big country, lot of forests should go in their favor. But we say, because many countries in the least developed world also have similar opportunity, but are not well placed to get the best benefit out of that deal. From the morning we started discussion, when it became 4 in the night, 4 a.m. in the night, not p.m., I, as the leader of the LDC, told the Iranian that should we continue discussing or should we go for vote? If we go for vote, then whatever negotiation we have done, we have come to some good conclusion, we have agreed to some of it, to give you some consideration. You will not even get that, because we are majority. And he, because you have to know your strength, he succumbed to the pressure and it was done. Next day, we got what we want. The final thing, because I also want to be in time, the final thing is another thing where you also do a lot of negotiation. That we did when we went to the framing of MDGs. You know what is MDG? You know SDG? SDG is the current plan of action the United Nations is following for Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. Before that, from 2000 to 2015 was the timing given for Millennium Development Goal, because that year was the Millennium year. You know, Millennium Summit took place in UN. It was in the year 2000. My boss, at that time I was a counselor. I was not an ambassador. My boss told me, I was looking after the UNGA, United Nations General Assembly. He told me, Mosud, I'm giving you a few goals. Make sure these proposals are included in framing all the few goals which the United Nations will adopt as Bangladesh's contribution. Go and do it. And he didn't tell me how to do it. He just told me, you go and do it. I'm just telling you as a part of negotiation, how you start negotiation. First thing I did, I located who are already in favor of Bangladesh, those countries. By discussion, I found few of my friends from Asia, Africa, Latin America, who are already in favor of some points. Then I tried to know how the methodology will be done, that how will you frame the MDGs. I found the chairman of the UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, who was the foreign minister of that country, called Namibia. He will be playing a key role. I tried to know whether there is someone who will be helpful for me. And I found I was lucky, because you all know Namibia is also like Bangladesh in the Commonwealth. Commonwealth are those countries which were ex-colonies of Great Britain. You know that. So I found, after checking, that the director of the UNGA President's Office was first secretary when I was first secretary in London. And then I went and met him and told, we are going to propose some things, we need the support of your boss. So you see, you have to have good preparation, good contacts, and already you have to build up your support group. Then it was easy. You didn't have to propose everything. Your support group, after a lot of negotiation, since you have planned, when the negotiation came to a final stage, they started, different countries in your support, proposing that, let's do this. Actually, it is a Bangladesh proposal. I've already circulated to them. And in this way, when the chairman came to give his verdict, because he was already briefed by his director, his office's director, so it was easy to get everything done. And then I went back to my boss and reported. He was already in front of Kofi Annan at that time, the Secretary General, in the UNGA session was going on, and with him was our President of the Parliament, in the British system we call Speaker. So he just reported to the Speaker that, Excellency, whatever we have told the young diplomat to do, because I was at that time just a counselor, all have been done. And the UNGA was going on. The Speaker just stood up, and he was a former foreign minister of Bangladesh, and congratulated me. So you can easily see 3 very big success stories through negotiation. All were done through negotiation by research, good contact, firmness, planning, and at the same time doing what you have to do, build up not just contacts, real support group, so that when the thing is floated finally for vote, you have the majority. So negotiation is not just talking. You have to know, as all the Toastmasters know, how to speak correct language and how to enjoy, friendship, but also at the same time, how to use that friendship in support of your goals. So thank you very much for inviting us. I will again go back after effective negotiation, since I still have a few minutes to talk about Bangladesh. Bangladesh is not only now doing a lot of things in ready-made garments, we are also producing a lot of good variety medicine and leather products. And we have many restaurants known as Indian restaurants, because once upon a time we were part of Greater India under the British Empire. But actually these are all, 90% of them are owned, run, and even the chefs are all from Bangladesh. If you go to Britain, you will see we have more than 4 billion sterling worth of business only in catering, means restaurant business. And we have 13,000 restaurants, 13,000. So this is another big business we are doing, besides leather and ready-made garments and pharmaceuticals. Our old business, which is also very famous, is jute and jute goods. Jute is one kind of organic, thing, enough, I think you call it. And through that, you can produce carpets. Very recently, we have made polythene out of jute. So these things we also export to the world. And also, we are very famous nowadays, like our neighboring country, in the business of software development. And through that, we are also doing, many kinds of business in the world of communication. Because now you can outsource things. And since many of our people who are in that field, they have studied in Britain, Australia, and America, and they are very successful. Finally, maybe all of you don't know that Bangladesh is also one of the largest supplier of workers all over the world. We have more than 10 million people working abroad. Our population is now more than 160 million.
Wow.
And 10 million of them are working abroad, sending back a lot of money to Bangladesh. So these things I am just drawing your attention. Please visit Bangladesh, and at the same time, if you are interested to business with Bangladesh, please be in touch with the embassy. All the address, contact person, name and everything are there. And actually I got the business aid Rabia with me today. So the younger generation people, if they want, they can easily contact her today to know more about Bangladesh. Thank you very much. Thank you. Of course.
Your Excellency. We also have 5 minutes for...
Now, I thought at the end with everyone, or not?
No.
Then let me sit and do.
Yeah, please. We usually, we have 5 minutes for Q&A session. I just want to share that I myself studied in London. I had a lot of friends from Bangladesh, very kind.
Only 1 million in Britain, with 3 parliament members from London.
Very kind, very hardworking, very smart people, and I thank Bangladesh for that. I had such a great friends in my life. So please, if you have any questions to His Excellency, raise your hand. Yes, please.
And also tell your name and profession.
Hello, I'm Daniel. My background is in petroleum engineering. So just curious, you mentioned that you was discussing with Iranians at 4 AM some questions. Just curious, could you elaborate more? What kind of questions were that?
Actually, how to divide and distribute correctly the forest-related products. I mean wood, timber, different kind of products. That was discussion. It was a lengthy discussion, but it was between the people who come from mid-level developed countries as well as least developed countries, mainly from Asia and Africa. So you understand, Iran is one of the mid-level rich country. So they wanted to have the resources of the forest in their favor, and they were supported by their friends like Latin American countries who also have very, very big forests. I don't want to name, it will not be diplomatic, all the countries. It was a negotiation, it was not a conflict, that who will have what. So first we told, yes, we will agree to 2 points of yours. I just wanted to show how we did it. And you also agreed to 3 points of ours because we are the majority. But they were just pushing for a long time that no, you have to agree whatever we say because we have, more resources and other things there. But altogether, if you combine all the small countries, actually we are majority, not just population-wise, altogether. Even in resources in Africa and other places, they might not be rich, all of the countries, but resources are there, abundant. So in the long run, we played the card of the LDC and we got what we wanted. And they agreed, it was amicably settled because we also already agreed to some of their points and our point. It was, I just wanted to show how to play the card, even of numbers, because you have the vote and the vote will be the final decision maker. Did you understand what I'm telling?
Thank you for your answer, Your Excellency. Please? No, the gentleman in the blue shirt.
Okay. Hello, my name is Kwanish. I'm glad to meet with Mr. Mosud. I'm an entrepreneur and I have partners in India, and also we import Bangladeshi prawns. Can we contact with you to expand or to cooperate with the Bangladeshi manufacturer producers through your networking maybe net? Can we use it?
It's not networking, through facilitating you by giving you some information or some contacts.
Yeah.
But not with me, you can talk to Rabia. Rabia is my business aide. She can help you to get in touch with people in Bangladesh.
Okay, nice.
That's why we are here.
Thank you.
Rinat, please.
Okay, my name is Rinat, I'm an engineer, so I have a question about invitations. What kind of book can you recommend us to read, the most powerful book that you read about invitations that can give us good advices that help you negotiate well?
To do negotiations. One book will not do, because the world is changing every day and people are becoming more and more complicated according to the demand of the world. New innovations are taking place. Sometimes these are cross-cutting. So if you just want to use the negotiation model of say 200 years back, it will not work. You have to use your common sense and at the same time go through a number of publications rather than taking others' time, because I know altogether the time is limited. It's better I give you suggestion of studying the Harvard Journal. If you go online, there are journals from Harvard School. Yeah, if you start reading them there, they will give you some idea about negotiation in diplomatic world. For business also, Harvard Business School is very famous. And then you can go to the British system as well, and finally where you are. Because Moscow has their way of dealing in business as well. I'm talking about the region. And finally, don't forget who is becoming #1 in business, China. So the Chinese, I served in China for 3.5 years. Chinese mind, we are talking about Confucius today. Thank you, at the beginning, we mentioned about Confucius.
Yes.
So totally different. And if you want to do business very successfully in the coming century and don't know about China and Chinese mind, it will not do. So those things are not written in English books, not too much. It's now being researched. People are thinking. Have you read the book China Inc.? It was published in 2005 in English. Right? Read it. It is written that if you look at the back of China, the back of America, you will find out made in China. Because most of the things Americans use and depend on are all from China. So you have to understand, for doing very good business, the Chinese psyche. So I am telling you, Russia, China, Britain, America, of course, you have to read out. And don't forget our world, which is led by India. So Indian mind is there, and Indians like Bangladeshis are in huge number abroad. They're not only inside their country being successful, they are also successful in where he studied, in Britain.
Yes.
One of the richest person of Great Britain is from
Bangladesh.
not Bangladesh, India, richest in the world. Yeah, Bangladesh is one of them, but they're one of the richest at all. Richest is also like Mittal, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling. And after them, yeah, Bangladeshis are there also, but richest at all. So what I'm telling, take into consideration, one book reading will not do. I shouldn't give you one book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sonia, please.
Yes.
Thank you very much for this. My name is Sonia and I'm a marketing specialist.
Already a specialist.
Marketing specialist,
Very good.
journalist. So I have a question. Why did you choose Diplomat? Because for me, it's the profession where you're not allowed to promote your own opinion. Because you have to follow your country's statement, your country's policy. So that's why, were there situations where you were not agree, or where you didn't agree with the policy of your country, but you have to follow it because in other words you will be reprimanded by the
Yeah, let me stop you there. It's not true. It depends on your experience and acceptability by the government. Because many things, when you grow with age and come to a position, actually your opinion becomes very, very important for the decision makers, the politicians. They listen to you. At the beginning, when at your age, generally not, because you are in the learning process. But at my age, when I'm already permanent secretary, they will ask you first, when you're sitting there, what do you think, ambassador or foreign secretary? Generally, our senior most becomes the foreign secretary. Tell us, what should we do in this situation? And then the foreign minister, discussing with the prime minister, his colleagues, the parliament, gives a decision. But the first thing actually comes from senior. There is a thing of seniority. Yes, on some basic issues, there are fundamental principles. But when you join the office, even not only diplomacy, in an oil company, there are fundamental principles of business as well. You have to follow them. You can't go against it. Even in a newspaper, there is the owner's policy. Everywhere there is a fundamental things you will not cross the border or cross the limits. But other things you can easily, with your experience, help them. And many things when you are mid-level, or as I told you, when I was mid-level, you have to do promptly. So you don't have time even to consult. So they also depend on your promptness and knowledge and intelligence and sharpness. So diplomats are selected, especially I can only talk about Bangladesh. Generally now more than 100,000 people compete for maybe 20 positions. So you can understand, not only they are the first boys, they are girls, they are creme de la creme, best of the 130 universities we have. No second, whether they are doctor, engineer, MBA, or international relations, economics, law, whatever. I studied 3 of them, so you understand. There is no chance.
We have the last question. The gentleman in the white shirt, please.
Hello, my name is Robin. I'm a software developer, and my question is about can you tell me about software development in Bangladesh more and another specialties, engineers? Thank you.
Let me go to engineers, because development of Bangladesh will be another lecture. We are nowadays pursuing not only ready-made garments, we are also developing our small and medium-sized industries in a big way. So engineers are involved in it in a very big way. You will see many things made out of plastic, melamine, ceramics. With the help of engineers we are developing, and we have reached even the European and American markets. When you go to John Lewis and other places, the world market, very big supermarkets and everything, you will see those are all made in Bangladesh. Melamine things which are for majority people, you know, not very expensive, in Middle East and others, supplied by us. Then when you go and think about regular construction work, very beautiful buildings and everything are designed with architects, not only who studied abroad, who also studied in Bangladesh in our Indian university. Out of the 130 universities, say 10 are involved in purely engineering, developing engineers. So those are there. But heavy industry, we didn't do much. If you ask me what you did for the agriculture sector and others, because there are agro-engineers. We have agriculture university and agro-engineers as well. We also produce our fertilizer, but some we also import. So these things, in these things also, heavily engineers are involved. And finally, the final thing is, we are also involved in electricity production and everything, where engineers are needed. So it's, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Mosud Mannan.
Thank you.
Our Q&A session is over. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much.